It's green. It's me. It's the brand new Jeep Compass, and it's had an electrifying makeover. But is this a rugged off-roader, or is it a case of Jeep goes glamping? Let's find out. The Compass sits second in Jeep's lineup, just ahead of his little brother, the Avenger, which we have reviewed on this YouTube channel. Now, it's been around about 10 years since Jeep have given it a major facelift, and boy, what a facelift they have given it. They've really leaned in towards a modern, boxy, rugged look that just screams Jeep. I like the headlights, they're nice and slender, and they fit in really well with the new grille, which is illuminated by a kind of light bar that goes all the way along the top of it. The contrast between the bumper and the actual body colouring works really well. As we come round the side here, 18-inch alloy wheels with quite a high profile in the tyre, which gives you a bit of an off-road vibe. Down the side, you've got the two-tone colour option. That's the bi-colour option, which is an upgrade for you. We've got black on the top and green on the bottom, and it just works so well. You've got body protection right the way around the vehicle, 360 degrees of that, and just look at the back of it. Angular, boxy, rugged, with 200mm of ground clearance. Now, I like the back. It's very boxy and it's very angular. It is Jeep. We've got a nice overhang from the spoiler. It comes down over the window, and I love the design of the lights and the light bar. You know how much I like a light bar. But what do you think of this? Manufacturers are now illuminating their name in the light bar. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of 50-50 on the fence. As we come down to the bottom, the bumper, I like how it sticks out, a little bit of extra protection for you there, and there's also another colour in there which adds to the design element. Now, inside the boot, 550 litres of boot space as we sit just now. You can raise the boot floor a couple of inches if you want to, and if you put the seats flat, you get 1,600 litres of boot space. But overall, it looks bold, it's nice and strong, and in this bright Hawaii colourway, it's sure to turn some heads. But let's take it for a spin. The Compass e-Hybrid is powered by a 1.2 litre petrol engine and a 21 kilowatt-hour electric motor. It's a mild hybrid, which means it's self-charging, giving you a WLTP fuel economy of 50.4 miles per gallon. It'll do 0 to 62 in 10.3 seconds, and it's built on a Stellantis STLA medium platform, same as the Peugeot 3008 and the Citroën C5 Aircross. And unlike some of the other Jeep offerings, the Compass currently only comes in front-wheel drive. Now, the general feel is nice. I'm in an SUV, I'm raised up, I look over the bonnet. The aperture that will look out is quite narrow, but it's at a good angle. Now, the A-pillar is chunky, doesn't compromise your visibility though. As you look round towards the door mirror, it's a kind of cool shape, and you see all the way down the side, it's nice and big. The rear view mirror gives you good visibility out the back, but Jeep have given you possibly the world's smallest rear window wiper. It's kind of cute. Now, as you're driving, you can toggle your switches and go through your driving modes. We've got Sport, Auto, Snow and Sand and Mud. I've just dropped it into Sport to see if it gives us a bit of a sporty, edgy feel, and it's definitely a bit more vibrant on the actual power delivery. It wants to go when you put your foot down, but it doesn't feel like it tightens up the suspension any. But in every mode, the suspension doesn't feel too wallowy, and that's one of the things you look for in an SUV. You expect it to have quite a bit of body roll, but you don't. One thing I will say, road noise is almost non-existent because you've got those high-profile sidewall tyres. They don't feel the rumbling coming back through the suspension, through the wheel and into the cabin. So that is a big plus. But it feels good, it feels plush, and it handles little bumps quite well. Now, when I first got in here, I have to say I was quite excited because I saw paddles behind the steering wheel, and I love to be able to play with the automatic gearbox and cycle through the gears myself. The only thing is, the engine is very, very quiet, and I can't see a rev counter, or I can't find a rev counter. Maybe you guys could let me know in the comments below where the rev counter is. Has anybody seen the Jeep Compass rev counter? Now, in this e-hybrid version, you've got your petrol engine and you've got your electric motor working in harmony. And one thing you will notice as you're driving, or you maybe won't notice, is when that transition happens, because it's seamless. You don't get a sudden kick of power, and there's no elevation and noise when the engine pops in. There is only one state of regen in this car though. I like to be able to play about with that. I like to up it in some cases and then reduce it in others. Sometimes you can do that on paddles or in an infotainment screen, but not in this car. There's only one. But what you can do is keep your eyes on the dashboard, because on the left stalk, if you push that, it shows you a live option of where your power is actually coming from. And on the right stalk, you push that, it shows you your usage. Now this e-hybrid version is very efficient when you're moving around town at slower speeds. But it's got a much smaller battery than you would find in a normal plug-in hybrid. But I'm really surprised when I look at the dashboard and I can see the usage, just how much I'm actually using full electric mode when I'm driving at lower speeds. So hang on, is this rugged adventure mobile a secret city car? Let's go and test it out on some big city adventures. City adventure number 1. Now we all know and love the great British potholes. There's enough of them about. Let's see how the Jeep handles them. Okay, here they come. Potholes right in front of us. Oh, a bump. Good grief. Well, actually, that was like a crater. That wasn't a pothole. And the suspension soaks them up really, really well. Also, the high profile in the tyre, the sidewall, takes a lot of the shock out of that, and that stops you getting punctures. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, they really should be filled in. City Adventure 2. Now, parking. A big part of living in the city is finding a parking space that you can fit into. Now, the Jeep Compass is fairly large, and let's see how it parks. So we're going to use the cameras that we've got here, the panoramic camera, and also my mirrors as we come back. Bearing in mind, this is a lot bigger than the Avenger that we have done before, but we use the mirrors in the camera. Look at this. Can line that up perfectly. A little bit of left lock. Oh, I'm impressed. Now you tell me that is not a masterclass in parking. Helped by a panoramic camera. Into drive, and away we go. City Adventure number 3. Speed bumps. Approaching the speed bump, let's see how this feels. The ground clearance is definitely going to help us here. 200 mils of ground clearance. Wow! How smooth was that? We've got another one. It's a bigger one. Let's see what happens when we hit this one. Hitting that. Oh, that's good. That's good. And the ground clearance lets you glide over these with great ease. And also, that good suspension helped in the potholes. It's also helping us get through there. I reckon the Jeep Compass can handle any city adventure you throw at it. If you'd like to get your hands on one, head over to arnoldclark.com, where we have over 20,000 new and used cars for you to choose from. Because at Arnold Clark, we make it easy. Now I do a lot of motorway driving, and this car comes with a lot of safety features as standard. Cruise control, lane keeping assist, traffic sign recognition. However, if you want to spec it up, you have to go for the ADAS pack, which will give you adaptive cruise control and a heads-up display. Then there's another option, the convenience pack, 360 cameras and also blind spot detection in the mirrors. Now while driving along the motorway, this thing does feel at home. It doesn't feel out of place at all. A lot of people think Jeeps are for off-road, but even with the small engine that we have mentioned, and it's not the quickest, it doesn't feel out of place, and it does chew up the motorway miles with great ease. If you were looking for a Jeep Compass that's maybe a bit nippier, you might want to look at the full EV version, which is definitely quicker off the mark. But there's nothing wrong with this e-hybrid mode. It feels good, it drives well, and it's definitely a little bit cheaper. Now when you jump into the Jeep Compass, you may expect it to feel kind of utilitarian, cold, harsh. That couldn't be further from the case. Jeep have given you some real plush furnishings in here. The top of the dashboard, nice soft touch. Same with the top of the doors. Comfortable, warm seats and a nice steering wheel. But then you dive down to the bottom where you might get in and kick your feet. Scratchy plastics, which is perfect because you can wipe them clean if you do get them muddy. Now talking about the seats, they're comfortable and they're also heated. This is the first edition that we're in. You get an entry-level altitude and the top of the range Summit. But even in the first edition, heated seats and a heated steering wheel. There is a massage option, but that comes as an upgrade. And one of the first things I said when I got in this car to drive it was I love the steering wheel, the way it feels and also how it fits my hands. The buttons on it are quite cool. They've got the cross for you to go through your selector modes, which kind of mimic the lights on the back of the car. Your infotainment screen, that's 16 inches, and it looks familiar because it looks like the grille on the car, very Jeep. You've got real physical buttons below that, and the air vents almost mirror the actual infotainment screen. Very clever the way they've styled that in. A couple of USB charging options and a couple of drinks holders. We then come down to the actual driving controls, and I like how Jeep have kept this super simple and easy for you to function. Just at the back of that, there's a charging place for your phone to slip in, and then we'll start looking about for storage. Now, they've upgraded the storage in here. You've got 34 litres of storage, and in some of these compartments, you actually have some non-slip rubber mats, like up on the dashboard here. You can place your phone up there, and you know that that's not going to slide around. A really good thing that Jeep have given you. But it's very uniformal in here. It's boxy, like the outside. They've brought that design element into the inside. And then they've done something pretty fun. They've put lots of little Easter eggs in here. There's some rocks on the floor mats. Either side of the dashboard, there's something for you to find. And a lot of the windows, there's a little Jeep up there with some trees and a roof box on top of it. A lot of fun, very Jeep. Now in towards the back, you've got the same comfortable seats that you had in the front, and down the bottom you've got rubber mats and the plastic surfaces which will wipe clean if they get muddy. Great that they've carried that from the front in towards the back as a feature. You've got a comfortable armrest, a couple of drinks holders and a bit of storage. Beside your air vents in the middle, just tucked away nice and neatly, a couple of USBs for charging, and there's also a 12-volt power supply down there. You've got privacy glass, you've got great legroom and great headroom. Now, if you want a dual panel panoramic sunroof, it's not a problem, that's an upgrade. And you could sit in the back and watch the great outdoors flashing past. Now this first edition, the list price is £35,835, but check out arnoldclark.com for some of the savings you can get in the description. I think Jeep have done a cracking job with the facelift on the Compass. It looks the part, it's comfortable and it's efficient to drive. But is it off-road or is it glamping? Well, I have to lean more towards glamping, but that's no bad thing. This e-hybrid could be the perfect vehicle for that adventurous urban family. It's happy driving around town or for that occasional weekend trip away. It's got mountains of space and it certainly will make you stand out from the crowd. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Duncan Vincent and this is the Arnold Clark YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And until next time, safe driving.